guys, welcome back. This morning we are going to get dressed really quickly because I have a meeting. It's always really quickly and always got a meeting, huh? You would think I would play my life better. I'm just saying. I told y'all, that's why I'm gonna be so hard on y'all, because life is real. Shit ain't no joke. I'm just saying. Okay, so my butterflies, how are you doing? I really miss you guys. My favorite thing to be doing would actually be, let me tell y'all what I would love to do, because this is the real grown-up world. See, y'all think y'all gonna be doing whatever y'all want to when y'all become grown? When you a kid, you got like, what, a couple rules? What do we ask y'all to do? Clean your room, do your chores, and go to school to get your education for you. No. You become an adult, it's like, oh, don't speed. Oh, don't do this. Wear your seatbelt. If everybody don't have on their seatbelt, you're responsible. Pay this bill on the day we tell you. And that's just the scratch of the surface, babies. I'm just saying. So my thing, because you have to think about the way you want your life to work out. Otherwise, you just like the blind leading the blind. You really do need to plan out how you want your life. Which, by the way, if you are a part of the Divine Purpose program, there is something that we do in that program, a little activity that's really fun. And in that activity, we go through and we actually plan your life. So you can see all the tools and resources that are there for you to be able to do that. But if I had the opportunity to just do whatever I wanted to in my everyday life, it would be to actually sleep 8 hours every night, wake up and go to, I would have a heated pool in my backyard. I would probably have a backyard too, but I would have a heated pool in my backyard, and I would wake up, and for my workout, I would swim because water is very calming to me. I would go for a swim in my pool, and then my chef would make me breakfast, and it would be ready by the time I was out of the shower from my pool time. And then what would I do? I would get to just sit down and record and do my makeup every single day, because I'm trying to tell y'all, I don't do my makeup every day. I don't get camera ready pretty every day. That's why it's really important to love the way that you look, because you wake up like that, right? After I do my makeup and record for you all, I would get up and walk away, and somebody else would edit it. I would pay somebody to edit the videos, so they would actually need to be a carbon copy of me so they could know how to edit them. You can't pay people to do things sometimes because it requires your personal touch. Or the person needs to like ride with you really well. After I was done recording, I would then get dressed, and I would go out and I would volunteer in my own organization, of course. I would volunteer and do work that way. Then I would, and then I would go to the spa or something relaxing every single day. I would do something relaxing because that's living, to be able to relax. I would then come back home and be ready for hubby to be getting off of work or doing whatever he's doing. And oh, this is a horrible sharpener. What the heck happened to all of my sharpeners? Be ready to have family time, because I think that that's really important. And if your goals don't align with family and actually living, then what are they for? It should be so that you can enjoy life the way that you really want to. But my life would really include relaxing, recording, and then time with family. All of my volunteer work would be in my organization, which is DivinedPurpose. And the reason why I would be there as volunteer work is because I actually don't desire to be the CEO of DivinedPurpose. I will always remain on the board. I will always ensure that I have control over the board because it is my baby. But I want to give others an opportunity who otherwise would not have the opportunity to be a CEO young. Why do I want them to be a CEO young? Because young people are super, super smart. They are really smart, especially today. Think about it. We have 2-year-olds and 1-year-olds picking up freaking iPads and being able to work them, and I can't barely turn mine on. In fact, I took it back because I couldn't figure it out. And my iPhone for work, let's just say I can respond to an email. But I think that young people, especially these days, are super duper smart. They're also innovative, and that's really important. Being innovative. Don't lose that as a part of your personal touch, but also don't let it be a crutch. So let me tell you where I think that in today's age, there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect in the job market and just life in general because younger people are feeling disrespected in that because of their age, when they sit at certain tables or have things to say, they're not being listened to. Or they don't feel like, that they are being listened to where it counts. And that is, in today's age, everywhere that they are. They want their opinion to count. No longer are we in the era of, working up to being able to do certain things because somebody is already in that space. They don't care if you're a manager and they're a CSR, a customer service rep, the ones that answer the phone. They don't care. They don't care if they're on the cash register at McDonald's and you're the manager. If they have something to contribute and they come forward with it, they want that opinion to be respected. And I'm really sorry if this offends some of my elders, but they're right. They really are. Who's to say that their idea won't be the next idea to take the company from being digital to being analog? Y'all laughing, but it's still some companies that are not up to par in the area of technology like they should be. And it's because they're not listening and they're not moving with the times. They're very slow and they're dragging your feet. The reason why you're dragging your feet is because, now roll with me on this. We have two things that we need. We need the innovation and we also need the experience that our seasoned people and elders offer. Our elders are being resistant to change because they don't want a 25-year-old coming and taking a position that took them 25 years to get into, because that's the way it was with, I believe, my prior generation. You didn't just get to walk into those positions. You had to have that experience. Did it work out for the organization? It did, in that you learned the company, you did different roles, you had a respect for hierarchy, and hierarchy was really a part of organizations, hell, and some families before. It is not that way anymore for those companies that are really growing and staying a part of changes, take a look at like Google or Netflix or Facebook, those type of organizations. People would love to work for those organizations because they offer the opportunity to be innovative and to think outside of the box. And when you have a suggestion for change or ideas of innovation, it's not met with a lot of pushback. So there's pushback on both sides. What I loved about being in HR is my ability to connect the dots, right? So for the elder crowd, I would always mix, like when I was doing mentoring or for onboarding, I would mix elders and the younger people. Why did I do that? Because elders needed to learn that respect for our youth is where we are, not where we're headed, is where we are. And it is important, especially in a workplace. In a workplace, I can remember entering the workforce, and at 21, I was on working in like the training department, which is considered a leadership space in an organization. But my opinions and what I brought to the table wasn't respected as much as everybody else's because of my age. But riddle me this: if the organization hired me, if I was promoted into that role, then that must mean that I have something to offer. Otherwise, I couldn't be sitting next to you, right? Okay. I'm just saying, it's really just that clear. But here's what I didn't do. And this is where I'm talking to my youth. This is what I didn't do. I was not disrespectful to the elders in those roles. Did I feel like sometimes they were disrespectful to me? I did. But I wasn't disrespectful to them back, because what would that change? Instead, I just showed myself through my work. That's number one. I showed myself through my work. And then when I had opportunities to show them different things that I knew, I showed it to them, because I knew that part of them being so mean, because you can call it what you want, but you was being mean. You're being mean and defensive is because they were scared. They didn't want some new person who didn't know anything about the company coming in and taking over, where they planted their feet and have been there for 20 plus years, you know, and some 10 years, whatever it is, they had tenure there and they were vested. You're at work more than you're at home. And for somebody to stick with the organization that long, it's not because they could not go anywhere. It's because I was even taught this coming up, to get with the organization. You plant your feet and try to get with the organization that you desire to retire from. So these people were invested. It was their family. It was their future. So to understand why they felt the way that they felt, I got it. To understand why they operated the way that they operated, I didn't get it. Here's what I'll say. I don't really understand how we're still in that space, because if that's when I was 19 and I'm now 40, why is it 20 years later and that's still happening? That's because organizations are not putting their feet down, and that 20 plus year employee that has been with the organization, you reminding them that this is what my company values are, this is what I stand for, and it shouldn't be happening. But I digress. That is what a company should do. What should a person do? A person should make every attempt to gain knowledge, so that elders each has something to offer. Because if I don't know the structure of my company, how it works and where it's been, I don't exactly have the best leverage to offer amazing ideas. I can think it's amazing, even if I say because it worked at a previous company. I can say that it's amazing, but if this company, for instance, if I say that I want to create a paper trail of certain things with physical, literal paper, and this company is leaves a footprint, they don't want any paper in their organization, right? So it's not going to work. That's a part of their structure. That's a part of their values. They could have just gotten off of $1 billion project to ensure that no paper is in their building. That's where you need both. I think that youth, you really need to watch your mouth. You do. And I'm saying this from a space of a hothead, of somebody that when you talk to me a certain kind of way, it's like a switch flips off in my head and I become like the Incredible Hulk. I don't like to be talked to a certain way because of the way I was talked to growing up outside of my home. It created trauma. So those are my triggers. But what I had to learn is that's my trigger, and I can't control every environment and how people talk to me. But what I can do is set the expectation that it won't be tolerated once I get to know them. And if I'm put in a situation, right? So there's a way to handle how we talk to people, because the end goal is we all need something from each other, young and old. The elder needs to learn TikTok, okay? If you have a business, the older ones need to learn TikTok and how to use all of these tools that we have in life, i.e. whatever it is at the company also. And the younger person needs to know the structure and the foundation so that when they are doing different things and integrating different things and having those ideas of innovation, they align with the company, because that's important. It's not going to work if it doesn't work. And you don't know if it doesn't work if you don't talk to the right people and respect the right people. They're probably, I wonder if we can do like campaigns at work and stuff like that to start really bringing together the old and the young. I know that there are, in California at least, different laws that prevent you from age discrimination as it relates to our elders. But I mean specifically addressing the elephant in the room and putting together a group or community or a particular program within an organization where you mentor backwards. Because you have mentoring with seasoned employees and people with doctrines and all that good stuff, where they've been with the company for a while. But we don't have any in the direction of a younger person or somebody who is new to a field being able to mentor an elder. Because they're too embarrassed, number one, to ask for it. They're not going to ask for it because they feel like they know everything. And for whatever reason, 10 years before they even retire, they start saying what they not going to do, what they not going to change, etc. Because I'll be retiring soon. No, you'll be retiring in 10 years, Madeline. You can start working on changing now. How about that? There is actually space and definitely time for you to be able to change, because you're going to need to change your replacement, and your replacement is going to need better information than what you have to offer. Nobody cares what you did in the 80s, Madeline. If you want to keep doing your hair like that and your makeup like that from the 80s, that's your choice, Madeline. But what's not your choice is holding the company back from moving forward like it should and investing in our youth. You have to. They're the ones that's going to take over that role when you're done. You're not passing it down to your best friend like you think you are. So, Monica, stop being nice to her and taking her to lunch. She's not passing down her role to you. She doesn't have that authority anymore. Life doesn't work that way unless you're in, certain positions where you shouldn't be able to, but that can happen. But for the most part, I can guarantee Madeline don't have the control she thinks she have. They just let Madeline do whatever she want to because they don't want an age discrimination lawsuit. But should that be a reason why you don't manage your company? Nope. Should that be a reason why you let people do what they want to? Nope. Is that running young people away from wanting to join your organization and you're missing out on some good talent? Yep. It is. I don't blame them, but the way they handle it is inappropriate. You guys talk very rude and reckless, and it's not okay, because at the same time, most of the youth that talks rude and reckless, you'll be somewhere crying if somebody talk to you like that. In fact, you are crying when people talk to you like that. And I have to remind you that you just talked to 13 people like that on the way to my office. We have to start somewhere, and I want to challenge the youth to do it. So when you see Madeline cutting up and talking to you any kind of way, I want you to be okay with telling Madeline, I just want to learn from you, or I just want to work with you, or I just want to build a relationship with you. I don't want you to talk to me like that, though. I don't like it. It's not comfortable. And how would you feel if somebody was talking to your grandchild like that? The same way that we say, the reason why I'm saying that is because the same way that we say, oh, how would you like it if somebody was talking to your mama like that? First of all, if my mama cutting up like that at work, age doesn't count at work as it relates to the respecting elders and all of that. It's only so much deference, look up that word, somebody can have, because their career is being impacted as well. And they are trying to make a name for themselves as well. That's their livelihood too. Stop talking about young people as if they're not important. If they have a 1-bedroom to pay for and you have a multi-million-dollar house, that doesn't make your multi-million-dollar house more important than their 1-bedroom. Because if they don't make their money, they don't get to pay for that 1-bedroom either, right? Life is important, period. It doesn't matter what stage you're in, but what does matter is how we support each other across the age groups. The age groups, the professions, the experience, all of that matters. But specific for this particular recording, age groups really matters, because there is age discrimination that is backwards as well. So meaning the younger crowd, they are discriminated against as well. And just because they don't fall under the age discrimination laws does not mean that it's not happening, but it is. And companies, you're going to suffer from it, because when Madeline retires, who's going to work that position? You're going to need somebody that is more seasoned. That will be the perfect time, if you haven't done it. If you haven't done it by just making sure that you change and monitor your company and your organization. If it wasn't important to you at that space, if I was trying to get Madeline out, I would be trying to bring in a younger Madeline, or at least get them on the pathway to being able to do it. The point is that, I think departments should be filled with diversity of age groups, cultures, backgrounds, and experience. I really do. Because what generally should happen, young people, this is what should happen if you guys stayed at an organization long enough, because y'all sure will jump. And to be quite honest, I don't blame you, because when y'all jump in for 10 G's minimum. Meaning, if you got promoted at your current job, would you get the 10 G's and all of these perks and this new title? Or you're taking your experience and you're going somewhere else, because that jump is so significant that it makes sense to leave. You're leaving. Do I blame you? No. Do I wish I would have did the same thing young? Yeah, I do. I was caught in the, I think 80 Babies was caught in the middle of a lot of stuff, a lot of old values, but new times coming, and we looking like, I know I should do this, but I'm too scared a little bit. And for those that weren't, you could tell the difference in them between the ones that stayed and was like committed to a company. There's a huge difference until that person moved. My huge difference came when I moved and jumped. And I mean jumped out of my career even. I don't do HR anymore. That is it. That's what I'm going to wear for my makeup. Yep, that's it. Because I need to go get my nails fixed. So, what have we learned today, kids? What have we learned today, Madeline? Madeline, you can keep your hairstyle from the 80s, but you cannot keep your behavior from the 80s. Grow with the company. Learn something different. It's okay. You don't have to hold the company back. Company, if Madeline doesn't want to learn, Madeline needs to go. Age discrimination laws don't protect her because when she's not doing her job. And younger ones, my babies, my sweethearts, y'all know I go to bat for y'all. Get your attitude together and watch how you're talking to adults, because that does still matter. Deference is really important. If you believe in the Bible, it's in the Bible. You cannot dishonor people. So matching energy, if you're matching energy so easily, that's probably just who you are. You shouldn't be able to do that. Do I snap back on people? I do. Do I snap back right away? I don't. Because it's not who I am. I don't want to be that way. But if you take me there, I can go there. Have I gotten more bees with honey than I have with a bulldozer, let's say? I think the answer should be honey. I don't know. Just behave well and do what you're supposed to. I can promise you, in professional environments, it matters, because you're always going to be met with adversity. You're going to have a ton of rules, and the rules grow as you grow, as you become more important. And I don't want, no, not important. As you gain things, let's just say even going from renting to owning a home, leasing a car to owning a car, all of those things, you encounter more rules. So if you start earlier in being able to control your behavior, control your responses, and how you talk to people, it really does matter, because communication is really important, and how you deal with people is really important. Do you let them do the things they want to do to you? No, but you speak appropriately. If you're in a position or organization where it isn't working, leave. If you need to reach out, let me know, because that goes across internship all the way to when you get ready to retire with Madeline. But that is my conversation for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned from it, because I know you guys are all thinking about your career, so you need to think about that. It's very important. That's it from me. Have a good day. Goodbye. I'm tripping. Goodbye, butterflies. Goodbye. Goodbye, butterflies. Goodbye. Goodbye.